We're on now.
Oh, hello. Welcome back, everybody. We had a few problems setting that up for some reason. The stream key wouldn't work for me. I have no idea why. I'm sure we'll get that fixed at some point, but unfortunately not right now. So, what we're doing here is a podcast. It's called Shipment or Shitment, which is an interesting name, you might say, because we'll be evaluating the shipments. We're going to be talking about them, saying which ones are good, which ones are bad, which ones are situational, where they're good. Just an in-depth discussion on the shipments that Russia has available to them. Of course, there are some really quite interesting shipments, I would say, that are really, really bad. Like, for example, the Portuguese, you get 3 explorers in the industrial age. But who would send that? I have no idea. That is absolutely horrible, that one. But
not in treaty, though.
No?
No, they
No,
actually
because
send
you
it in
can shoot-
treaty.
Yeah,
Do they?
you
What?
Because it has crack shot and it's like a 3,000 HP tank that doesn't take up population space.
Well,
can,
yeah, I guess
you
you've
can
got...
shoot like an entire Mahout if anybody makes that.
If that's
Or-
it's got the industrial age, yeah, okay, the crack shot that kills a unit, true. And if you get the night upgrade, there's capital upgrades for it. All right, I see that. But in supremacy, when would you ever send that?
No,
would.
nothing. No,
Would you, if it was an age 2 card, would you send it?
3 explorers?
Yeah.
I don't think so. It's only like 800 HP or something.
Blackstar, what do you think?
Well, actually, I think it's a good idea. In Asia.
Yeah, you would think it's a good idea.
It's a lot of HP on those. It could be. It may. I don't know.
Well, they're like permanent skirms, but yeah, we've already discussed that one. So
That's true. Well, let's get on topic with Russia here. This is basically what it's going to be about. Like, what would we change about particular shipments to make them stronger or playable even, and also just an evaluation of the shipments that Russia has and doesn't have. Starting with villagers. Russia does not have villager shipments. What do you think? I mean, they do get a wood trickle, right? And they've got the Polar Explorer card, which increases the attack and hit points of your explorer. And they have 300 wood, and there's eco theory they have. But what are the implications of Russia not having villagers on sort of their game? I'll start with H2O.
all right. So in vanilla, you used to send 300 wood every game and use that to build your blockhouse. You could, because you didn't even have distributivism. That was a TWC or TAD. I think it was maybe even TAD. No, TWC probably came.
I think so, yeah.
But either way. So you used to send 300 wood. They used to be really good because Cav wasn't good, so you could just make Strelets only. But nowadays, you definitely send distributivism because it's 2.5 vils, and that's like the closest thing you're going to get to 3 vils. So, you send distributivism. That's all there really is for me to say about it. I mean, I wish I had the 3 vil card and stuff, but I don't.
Yeah. Are you showing? Yeah, you are showing it. And obviously the extra wood you get from that sort of makes up for it. It's not quite as good. But Russia, sort of that civilization that is strong late colonial. What if Russia had a 3 vil shipment? Would they be too good? What do you think? We'll go with anyone, really.
Yeah, anyone, just chime in.
What do you...
Yeah, well, I think a trivial shipment would make them definitely much better.
Yeah.
But still, the trickle is good for long-term games.
Yeah. Fair enough. Would they be too strong with the 3 vils, though?
Actually, it's only a half a feel more, right?
Yeah, alright.
Like Legit Civ. Not too strong, not too weak.
But to make up for their lack of sort of villages, they do have... I presume ES decided to just give them every single resource shipment. Like, does that really make up for it, though? I mean, the only civs that get every shipment, I believe, are Portuguese, and that's it.
I think the only thing that makes up for it is that they train villagers 1.5 times faster. That really helps them.
Yeah. I don't think it's particularly useful, really, because you do already get all of the 700 wood. Every civ gets 700 wood, coin, and food, and 600 as well, obviously. And most civs get all of the relevant 1,000 upgrades, the wood and the coin. And some civs don't get 1,000 food, but nobody wants that anyway. I don't think that really makes up for anything. But there is that. Yeah, I think you're right about the extra villages. They do get 20 sheep, though. That's not something every civ gets. 20 sheep in the H3 in the New World Trading Center. What do you think of that? Can you ever send 20 sheep in a real game?
I think I've seen Musket sending 20 ships once.
That does sound like Musket. Why did he do it? Was it good in the time, or
I think
he just being a troll?
I'm not sure. I think he was just turtling and making blockhouses, and He was just booming and he sent ships.
20,
The
20 sheep.
the problem is you have to send it in H3, and sheep
Yeah.
are a long-term payoff item. Like the 15, if that 15 sheep were in H2, I'd send that over, or even I mean, the 7 in H1 or 7 cows in H2. Like those are all better, just
Yeah.
because like
7
when you
cows,
get to
definitely.
Fortress and then you're really gonna wait for 20 sheep to fatten. Like that's ridiculous.
That's
It'll be like
definitely,
15 minutes before that pays off.
yeah, you can't like even if Russia was good with the semi-airfare, you couldn't like or a straight naked fast fortress. You don't want to be sending sheep the second you get up. You got to
Most-
stabilize with military units. What if it gave you like a livestock pen as well? Would it be like a good late game shipment? Would you put it in? I'll go with Ida Holland.
Late game shipment with sheep. Well, you can only put like 10 sheep on a livestock pen, right? So
What if it
would
gave you
need-
2 livestock pens then? All right.
Well, that's 400 wood already, more than 20 sheep. So that's pretty good, I guess. But you still have to wait like 5 to 10 minutes. I don't know the exact time.
How much
Before
food
you
comes
get-
out of the sheep when they start?
Well,
Sorry to
it's
cut
it's
off.
300 food,
They
and
start at 50.
it
Okay.
gathers twice as fast as normal food. So you get like 3,000 food from them.
Yeah, but like I think H2O is thinking, wait, I could just eat these sheep the second they arrive.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I was thinking. But I thought they started with 100, but only 50.
Yeah, if there was 100, that'd be good. It is 50 though. That's at least I think it is.
Well, if you get 2 livestock pens with it, and you get them in H2, then I don't think it's a shipment anymore. Just
Mhm.
because you get like 1,000 food every minute.
So this is as it is. It's definitely a shipment, not a shipment.
As it is, it's a shipment, yes.
Yeah, it is a shipment. All right. They also get all of the other sheeps there. 7 sheep in H1, 15 H2, 7 cows as normal for other civs. The next unique sort of card that Russia gets is Team Cheap Priests. Right. This is a unique
I think.
Russian
Can we get
card.
Semka over here?
Let's get Azam. Yep.
Yeah, it's just like that.
So for those of you who don't know, this decreases the cost of priests by 50%. For the entire team, I might add. Exceptionally good for an exceptionally brilliant card here. So I think we can pretty much assume this is a shipment, not a shipment. But I'm going to let you guys... There are some interesting things to be said about this card, right?
Oh, Robbie, what do you have to say about this card?
I would never send it.
Oh!
Anytime you see a silver coin or a gold building on a card, it's just automatically bad. Like
Yeah.
there's no like if there's that little icon just says don't send that card. Like team
Well,
cheap
Advanced
outposts.
Arsenal.
Oh, that's okay. That's that's
Advanced
only
Arsenal
one.
is fine in some situations.
Some of
Well,
them are good.
I do
not
see-
most of them are
Only
terrible.
advanced arsenal. Is there any other? Oh, and cheap Jans is also good theoretically.
Yeah, but you don't really get to H4 for
Very
only
often,
making
well.
gens.
Yeah, anything that
But-
involves Jans is always good. So
Team Cheap Priests, right? What would you have to do to make it viable? I know Azamk does have that. I mean, he didn't get the idea, but it's certainly an Azamk style thing where you like in a team game stack the Team Cheap Priests with I forget what it is, but your priests like your Russian priests just have like 500 hit points or something, and they just
This card can boost Spain actually.
with the missionary. Oh yeah, I guess
the
that could work.
missionary.
But would you really send that?
Well, they can
Just to-
also
Well-
boost Aztec with the faster training warrior priests, so that could help their boom if it's like a good
Yeah,
percentage.
but they
Would
they
you
only
really
made
send that
15
over
they only
1,000
made 15 training points though. They caught on to your idea. They nerfed it for warrior priests only 15.
yeah.
Yeah, but
True.
if it were like 50% less training time, then it would be really good to help their boom.
Yeah,
but
but-
right now it's shit.
It's 15. So
Yeah,
what would you have to change about it to make it good?
I think we're onto the right idea. I think what you really want to do is have what do you call it? Priests be more useful, right? Like I don't even
Yeah.
want to make them. You could make them like there's some breaking point where priests are so cheap that like they beat everything because you just make a lot of them.
Yeah.
But,
So
if they like could convert units like in Age of Empires 2, or Robbie's onto something too with that, right? Because he was talking about missionaries with unction, like those are very good. So
Mhm.
just in general, priests need to be more useful, or
Yeah.
you need to make this card so cheap that you actually just use them to punch units with.
Actually, when do you ever use priests in a 1v1 game?
Only
That's
to
the
heal
question.
Mamluks.
Yeah, for a
cannons.
spy or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, with
Okay,
Mamelukes,
15
so not
seconds.
with Russia, of course. Oh, well, it seems like Interjection is talking to his little sister. That's cool.
Yeah, he got stuck with the babysitting mission.
Yeah,
Did. So overall, this card is bad. I think
it's
the
shit.
issue with it is that priests aren't useful at the moment in Age of Empires 3. They cost too much. They don't heal fast enough, and you have to build a church, which is completely useless. And that's the problem, really. The only time this sees players with troll builds where Azam's like tanking damage with super spongy priests, which is just not really what it was designed for, I don't think. But they do get Team 2 Surgeons. That is a unique Russian card.
Team 2 Surgeons.
No.
Oh, that sounds awful. Is that H2?
Yeah.
is, yeah.
The other thing he can do though, those surgeons can build these like green tents, or like these tents
Yeah.
with a plus sign on them, which most people don't even know exist. It's a I don't know what they call them, but
It costs
basically,
250 wood and they have
No.
500 HP.
Don't they
yeah.
cost like 400 wood?
I think so. Yeah, something ridiculous.
It's another
It's
one of
for-
those forgotten Age of Empires 3 units that
Field
just never got
hospitals.
fixed.
Field hospitals,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes,
They build,
field
like,
hospital.
they like heal your units in the area if they're standing
Yeah,
still.
it's like
It's like a
They're
TP.
400 wood. That's the price of a mill.
Yeah, screw that. No, just build like just collect resources. Don't collect the wood. Collect food and coin and make new units. That's just better than healing.
Yep.
Like
The way
it's
that
just-
the way you make this good is just to lower the cost of the field hospital, give it a
Yeah,
lot of
make it-
HP, and make it heal while they're in combat or something.
yeah,
You
make
know,
it
like,
good.
Just
Just
something
make it
ridiculous.
better, like-
yeah.
It's just not useful. And medicine men. What if you have a 4v4 and everyone gets 2 of these? Is it good?
Well,
No.
they still heal very slowly,
Yeah.
and you only get 2 of them, and you want to be using your army, so you're never really standing still for more than a minute.
So it's definitely a shitment.
What they
Yeah,
should
it's
do is
shit.
have a build limit based on the number of each surgeon can make 1 of those, and then it's free to make. And so the surgeon is just like you need to keep them alive, and then like you could make some good
Oh
interactions
yeah,
with
well,
it.
that
if
could
you
be
do something like
could be
that,
pretty cool.
where then
But
like,
as
you
it
need to
is,
snipe them, and the field hospitals just have to be way better too. Like,
Yeah, and Field Hospital needs to garrison guys and make
Or have
Home
an
City
attack,
spawn
small
point.
attack, probably.
Yeah, small attack from the surgeons. They need to provide free priests or
That's-
something.
that's
Yeah.
not how surgery works.
if anything, it should kill your units, right? Because like that's what it used to do at this time period. You didn't make it out of those surgeries too well.
Yeah, funny. But as it is, it's definitely a shipment. Something needs to be changed about surgeons themselves or the field hospital. But as it is, how many surgeons do you think it would realistically need to give you to be good?
Like
4. Yeah, interesting. We both thought 4. Because then you just punch with them. Because then you give them like 12 surgeons isn't a small number of surgeons.
It's like the Team 5
Surgeon
Envoy
Russia.
card that Russia gets or something like that. Yeah. But cards we didn't cover, well, we kind of covered the Wood Trickle. It's basically a replacement for the Villagers. That's why I bring it up now, even though we're not looking at the manufacturing plant. Eco Theory is kind of a replacement, but, you know, obviously the wood is better. Polar Explorer is the relevant card here. Would you say that's better than the Wood Trickle on a map such as
Yukon.
Yukon.
I don't
Yukon,
think it
or
is.
maybe even one of Gaia's maps which have high treasures?
The
I'm not
Hudson
buying
Bay,
it. I know, Robbie, go ahead. Tell us about how much you
Well,
want the Polar Explorer
I'm not
card.
sure about this card actually. I don't think it's worth it to send. Only if you play Japan, then it's worth to send the hero card. But this one or any other hero card, I don't know. It's really not worth to send.
You don't think it's good? Black Star doesn't think it's good.
If he doesn't think it's good, then no one's gonna do it. Like, I mean, if anyone was gonna send that card, it was gonna be you out of the people in the chat. So,
But on Yukon, there are a lot of treasures. Do you not think having 50% stronger Explorer and a War Dog is good against, you know, all the polar bears and shit? You might be able to pick yourself up 150 wood, 100 food, 100 XP, 70 gold, plus some other treasures, you know?
Yeah,
Don't-
but
By
that
the
would
time
only
it
be
gets-
like
oh, good.
that would be like an advantage for a few minutes only,
Mm.
and after that the trickle is just gonna come by.
Pay
And,
off. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's gonna
and-
pay off.
What if you
And
go
you-
all in
Wait.
and you like super hard rush them?
And the only bonus you get from it is, like, if you get 150 food, you get 300 food. So you would have already gotten 150 food, and by the time the card gets there in a good game, good high-level game, like,
Yeah.
players have already picked up, like, 1 polar bear treasure each, and
Yeah,
then, like,
true.
1 wolf treasure each, and so now you're down to, like, 2 treasures, and it's like,
Yeah.
you know, maybe they're there, maybe they're not. Like, you know.
Yeah,
Just kind of,
So
it sounds so good, but then when you actually use it, it just doesn't work.
So it's
If
not
you
good.
really want to be aggressive and don't want to wait for the trickle to pay off, I rather send 300 wood
Yeah.
or nothing.
Yep.
One of those.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing.
I think nothing
So-
is actually better.
Like Samwise showed us in the Yukon Russia mirror lately.
Oh yeah, sending nothing. Yeah, because then you get to send 700 wood in colonial sooner. Absolutely.
No, yeah, he sent 5 costs and 4 costs and 13 strelets as first 3 cards.
Okay, don't even.
It was-
Yeah, exactly. That's
was all
basically
in.
what I was getting at. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's even stronger.
And Goodspeed likes to do 300 wood to make a trading post, which is also viable until like 5 minutes or something
Yeah.
when the trickle pays off.
And that's still
think
better than Polar Explorer. So
only
this.
map that I would use 300 wood is Texas probably to take 2 TPs and stagecoach them instantly.
Yeah, that's a good idea with the extra defense.
But then you're
Yeah.
just permanently behind by 2.5 bills. And the
The
other
thing
guy
is
just
that
does the
well, if it's a mirror, of course. But the thing is, you start with 2 blockhouses, which gives extra pop. You don't need a house, so you can just take 2 TPs fast.
That's true.
Or even you can start with a TP if you have a 200 wood start.
Shame Texas isn't in the map pool. Maybe it should be.
Yeah, actually, Texas would change a lot the game style.
I'd like to see maybe a Gaia map where you start with outposts. Could be interesting. I mean, we all hate. Well, I hate playing on Texas because it
I
makes
like
you have
Texas
to.
a lot.
Well, there is one map that has outposts at the start. It's called freaking Siberia. I don't know if you know it.
It's not in the map pool, though.
Oh yeah, Siberia. Good point.
We
I mean,
cut
like
that
two.
map.
I mean, like a barracks and two towers. I don't know. Never mind. But it's Polar Explorer, Shipment or Shipment.
Eh,
It's shit.
Between, somewhere between.
It's in the middle.
But
Yeah.
there maybe could be like a map that has so ridiculous treasures that it could be viable, but such a map does not exist yet, I think.
Not yet. So it's
Not yet.
for the most part somewhere in between Shipment and Shipment.
It's just not good enough.
Yeah. All right. Well, that concludes the New World Trading Company. We're moving on now to the Military Academy. Let's start with 5 Cossacks.
What does Polar Explorer have to do with a trading company?
It's
I don't know
the
why
tab,
it's in. I don't know why it's in New World Trading Company Shipment, but it is in there.
well, the explorers, they're explorers, right? They're exploring the new world to establish trade and then also crates.
This is true.
Also, crates and surgeons, of course.
Surgeons. Yep. Makes so much sense, right? Okay, so the card that instantly stands out here for the military for Russia is 5 Cossacks, possibly the best colonial age military shipment, or just one of the best colonial age shipments in the game, giving you the equivalent of 750 resources worth of units instantly. You don't have to train them. Normally, it's about 600 resources that you should get for a shipment. And obviously the resource crate is 700, but all the military ones are nerfed by about 100 resources. All of them, that is. This is 750. Not only is it better than most shipments, it's a military shipment. You get this instantly. Is this card too good?
Also, it's Cav, and Cav shipments are historically worse than all other shipments because of how big of an impact they can have, or the surprise factor that they bring to the table when they pop. Like, you think like 3 Hussar, that's only 600 resources. They don't have most civs don't have Cav cards that are very good. 5 Cossacks, the only card that beats that is 4 Kanya, which is 800 resources.
Holy
and-
shit. Yeah.
Actually, 5
Really
Ulans
stupid.
as well.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that's like 2 are free, so it's
That's
like
part of the Civ
450
bonus.
resources only.
Yeah, I would be on with H2O there. But what do you think of this? Like, is it too good? Should they like? I mean, they've got a 4 Cossack shipment as well, which is actually, that's
It's
what it
still
should
good.
be. It's still good. Like, it makes 5 Cossacks makes 4 Cossacks look bad. But 4 Cossacks is still a good shipment. Should it just be 2 4 Cossack shipments? I know that was the case in the fan patch.
Well, we talked about Russia earlier on the AMA, and Russia is not really one of the best civs.
Yeah.
So I think without 5 Cossacks, it would be even worse.
Yeah.
But if they were like a normal civilization, of course 5 Cossacks would be really good. Just like 4 X-Riders with Su and 4 Kanya with Eero. That's just a really strong first shipment in H2.
Yep. And I'd have to agree with you there. Like, I knew what I was going to say, that I didn't think it was wrong for Russia to have that shipment. But I think it's still interesting to mention they have one of the best military shipments in the game. But yeah, maybe, what do you think? If they had 2 5 Cossack shipments, is that taking the piss a bit, or is that?
That would be too OP, I think.
You think?
I think I'm fine with it. I know,
Really?
they're
Black
that
Star,
bad.
Black Star.
Come
You
on,
really
Alright.
think Russia is bad, right?
Alright, we'll start
Robbie,
with Black Star.
wait, Robbie,
Why do you
you
think
said
it would be
Russia
good?
sucks too, so
Well,
you know they
yeah,
do.
they do, but
Well, Black
they
Star's
can do
point
fine
then.
sometimes. But usually they are pretty bad. I just figured out myself after losing to Sam's German twice.
Was
So
it
you
because
don't.
all your units just did nothing and died?
Yeah, exactly. Just can't do anything.
So if
Sad thing is that one game I even lost in Colonial. He stood Colonial for like 20 minutes and I lost.
Yeah, because your units don't do anything.
What
Yes.
civ are you talking about? Russia, right? That Robbie that Black Star was
Yes.
playing. Okay. Yeah. So you but Black Star, you said this would be too good if there was if they had two 5 Cossack shipments.
Yeah, I think it would be a bit better. Well,
You
not
think?
too good, but they would be better.
Oh, okay, but H Joy said he'd be fine with it.
Well, I'm not sure about that.
No.
10 Cossack in your base in 6.5 minutes is not so nice to hold.
No, that's kind of hard. H2O, you think that is too good? Black Star saying that could change a lot of matchups, tip a lot of things, perhaps.
I think
Is it too good?
I mean, we'd have to see. I think it comes down to you would definitely send them both, and then it's just, I don't know. I mean, I think you can win H2 against Russia as most civs, so I don't think it matters that much, right? We're talking about one Cossack really here. I mean, the only thing they could just send 5 and 4 right now, and if you think one Cossack is the difference between Russia being OP, then that would be surprising.
Yeah. Okay, true. But like currently in the meta, when you rush, I feel like people send 5 Cossacks, then 13 Strelets, then 4 Cossacks. But if it was 5 Cossack, if it was 2 5 Cossacks, I would imagine people would send 5 Cossacks, 5 Cossacks, then 13 Strelets. This is in a vacuum where you don't take into account what units your opponent is taking. But speaking of 13 Strelets, that is the next card. It is, gives you 13 units that cost 47.5 resources. That is 617 resources. So
I'm calling it as a shipment right now because you have to build a house to use it, so it costs 100 more wood. and then when it comes, it's like 400 resources. It's only like 475, but mostly food resources worth of units.
It's 617 resources, but mostly food. Yeah, and it has the hidden cost of 130 wood.
And you also as a civilization, Russia's more starved for resources than they are for production facilities. And when you're starved for resources, you want to send crates instead of unit shipments, which is why we see the best Russian players sending like 700 wood, 700 gold, etc. And just making their units instead of sending things like 13 Strelets.
But if you're rushing, I think the reason 13, I actually don't know, maybe 13 Strelets is okay if you have a lot of extra pop because you're, being aggressive and you've like lost some units or something like that. I don't know. But you think it's a shitment. No good.
The only one that's worse is getting only 4 more Strelets and making it a fortress shipment. But yes, I think it's a shipment myself.
Well, do you guys agree?
Yeah, I think, well, in team games it may be different if you want to spam full strelets and put boyars on them.
That's true.
But in 1v1, they're just very easy to hold.
What if you make it worth 700 resources, H2O? That is effectively making it 15 Strelets, which is just over 700.
I think I would make it like maybe 16 Strelets, just like one more or something.
Holy crap, you're giving Russia some you're okay with 5 Cossacks, you're okay with 16 Strelets, holy shit, you're giving Russia some beastly shipments here.
I mean, you still have to build the house, and I just don't see how 3 units that don't do anything is going to change anything. I don't know, obviously if we stack all these together, I don't know. You have to compare. You don't compare 16 Strelets to 13. You compare it to sending crates. Like, would you send 16 Strelets, or would you still send the crates? Because you'd be house to shit and not be able to make any units if you send it. You know what I mean?
I would just send wood.
I would still send the wood, even if it's 16.
Yeah, but I think if you have like 16 Strelets and 2 times 5 Cossacks and the sheep in H2 and the surgeons, then it might all add up.
Well, you have to pick. You can't send them all, right?
Yeah, of course. You want to build like sheep to build massive surgeons and then push out with 2 times 5 Cossacks.
Guys, this is silly. Wow. Okay, well, it's interesting that you'd make it 16 Strelets and still value 700 wood. I think that, I mean, that is I guess it's still mostly a food shipment, but perhaps, I don't know, you don't, okay, fine. But the next card, I think, unless there's anything else to be said about Strelets.
Yeah, with Boyars, they're cool. Otherwise,
Yeah, that's the
they're
next card.
shit.
Boyars is absolutely insane. It is another one of the best cards in the game.
Yep.
Is a
In H2,
specific,
Russia's
yes.
best card, actually.
like if say you think it's the best card,
Russia's
For
best
Russia.
card.
Russia's
best card. Do you think it would be the best card in Age 2, full stop, if other civs could send something that increased their, I don't know, crossbowmen and cavalry by, their crossbowmen and their hussars by 15% attack and hit points?
Definitely.
Or,
I mean, it's just
Not-
so good. It's like two combat cards in one, which are two Fortress
Yeah.
Age cards.
yeah,
Like-
this is effectively having the veterancy upgrades.
And it's the two good units that they like. Like it's the Cossacks are not terrible, and Strelets are really good. So those are the two units you actually want to be making. If they changed Veteran Opry to Cav Archer, I'd just be like, I'd send that card so fast.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Do you think it should be Cav Archers by any
No, I
chance?
don't think so. I mean, it's already ridiculous. So
Yeah, Appreciationics aren't that good. Anything to say about it, Blackstar? When do you think it should be sent?
Well, I'm not sure.
No?
I think the Opries are fine with the 15%.
Yeah, it's just some people like to send Boyars like very, very early on because they know they're going to get value out of it. But traditionally you don't send military shipment upgrade cards until you have an army. When is the optimal time to send this? Do you guys think?
I think around 80 or 90 pop or something.
Yeah.
10-minute mark. Or
Is
more.
that-
yeah, probably. I mean, you've sent maybe like one crate, 5 Cossack, and then like maybe one other crate, and then you send it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something
Like
like
after
that.
700 gold, if you're still H2, then you send it.
Okay, so Boyars definitely a shipment, not a shipment.
Yeah.
Definitely a
Best.
shipment. Yeah, all agreeing. This has got a 100% shipment. No shipment here.
Yeah,
Right.
but that's the funny thing about Russia, right? They have like 5 Cossacks, which is really a good shipment, and they have Boyars, which is a good shipment, and
Yeah.
still they suck.
And that's the problem, right? They
Because
have
the
a really.
underlying units suck.
That's the problem with Russia, right? They have this insane colonial age late game, but
Yes.
they're no good in the fortress age. Like if someone sneaks up to fortress and you're playing Russia, you're like, oh damn, because then you have to go up to fortress, and you really don't want to because you have to upgrade all of your units. That you're still just going to be making the same units you'd be using in colonial. The only thing extra you do really sort of get is the cannons, and that leads us on to 2 falconets. Do you think? I'm just going to straight up say it here. Like 2 falconets, insane shipment for every civ. What if Russia? Would this improve Russia as a civilization if they got 3 falconets?
Yeah.
Well, I think cannon is the best unit of Russia.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
except for
unit.
Strelet. Except for Strelet.
So the generic unit that everyone gets is one of their best units. It's cannons.
It's because the only one that they didn't randomly make terrible and train in batches. Yes. Yeah, so it's very good. Like, oh, you get muskets, but they're terrible, and you have to train them 5 at a time. Like they just tickle cav. Like you just can't kill a hussar with those muskets to save your life.
But Russia's so bad in Fortress. Would having 3 Falcons, what do you think that would do? Would that just be stupid because it's just so good?
I think
would
so,
would
actually. Like, think about that Aze's timing where you convert the Strelets into muskets and then, like, 3 Falcons instead of 2. I don't know, I think 3 Falcons would be very good.
Yeah, all right, but a slightly more interesting version of that would be instead of, like, keep it as 2 Falcons, but change their 1 Falcon shipment to be 2 Falcons as well. Would that be perhaps less ridiculous?
You mean 2 times 2 Falcons?
Yeah, they have two Falconet shipments. Their current 1 Falconet, what if that sent 2 as well as their 2 Falconet shipment?
I like it.
That would make it too strong, probably.
Yeah, it's actually really good.
I think that's really strong, yes.
Yeah, so you guys think that would be too good for Russia? That would be too strong.
Yeah, because I was reliably getting to Fortress Age with Russia and having some reasonable success with the 2 Falcons, so if I could have 4 of them over time, I think that would be insane.
Yeah, what about like 1 Falconet in H2? That's only 500 resources, right?
That'd be interesting.
That's an interest. What would 1 Falconet, that card, be playable if it was an H2 card?
You
That's
would need a
question.
nerfed version, of course, because they are veteran in H3 already.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. You're already sending a 500 resource shipment. 1 cannon on its own is hardly scary.
Yeah, I think I'd be fine with that. That'd be a cool idea, especially if it's a little bit weaker. I mean,
Yeah.
really, the only problem is people mentally psych themselves out on cannons. Like, they'll just go suicide their whole army trying to kill them. When most of the time, if you, so there's, you got to get the right timing to go in.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
I don't know. I
if
think,
you have like 40 muskets, it's really good to have a falconet with you.
Like, yeah, if you can protect one falcon, that might be really good. But why do you guys think two falconet shipments, like two falconet shipments, is better than one 3 falconet shipment and a 1 falconet shipment?
Because
Do you not think the single bonus that you get from sending 3 at once that is, outweighs the fact that
no, the 3-1 is definitely better because you get 3 instantly, and then if you wanted to have your total of 4 over 2 shipments, you could still get it. So the
Yeah.
3 is definitely still better.
okay, but you think that's too strong? Do you say that's too strong?
yeah, 3 is too strong also because you can shoot down like 2 falconet shipments of your
Yeah,
enemy.
in one shot probably.
Yeah, you
But-
can.
This is true. Like every other civ gets 2 falcs, but then that sort of shuts down the, semi-fast fortress timing that Russia really hates to deal with because, they don't want to fight a fortress age civ, and now you can't do it against Russia because they have 3 falcs, which just beats you. You have to
Yes.
play against them in colonial. Like suddenly, is this?
So the roles are reversed, right? Russia wants to go to H3 to send OP shipments with falconets,
Okay.
and other civs try to fight a colonial. So
Okay, all right. So you just think it's silly?
I think it would give them a whole different role in the meta.
Because the only reason I mention it is because they have 2 heavy cannon shipments. Like they've got the 2 heavy cannons, but they also have the Tsar cannon, which is in Age 4 they get to send 2 heavy cannons twice. I just thought maybe apply that to the falconets could be interesting.
I think 2 heavy cannons infinite times would be good for Russia.
Yeah, that card
Well-
already exists for a lot of civs, so.
Does it?
Well, the 2 rockets.
Brits has 2 rockets, and
Rockets,
Germany has 1 heavy cannon, but
Yeah,
with
but-
4
Yeah, but 2
ulan.
heavy cannons, they beat rockets, I think.
Yeah, but like one rocket or 1 heavy cannon is different, like to having infinite 2 heavy cannons.
Yeah.
But what do you think of 2 heavy cannons? That's the next thing I wanted to come on to. Is Russia really good in the industrial age because of this? Or is Russia just not very good and you don't really want to go to the industrial age and it just happens to be there, but it doesn't really matter because
every
Russia's...
civ that has 2 heavy cannons in H4 is good because of that.
I thought only Russia had that.
No, he means
No.
he means just the 1 shipment of 2 heavy cannons.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, that shipment is just good generally.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Every civ.
It's insane. Often sent over factories initially because you want to stabilize. A cannon with
Yeah.
500 HP is crazy. The fact that you get 2 of those as Russia, I think, does give them an interesting, yeah. Is that
The question is, which one do you put in your deck, right? Because you're only putting 1 in, and I would go with I'd put the Tsar cannon in there because I just wanted to say it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, for the surprise
for
effect.
the surprise effect of
Yeah. They will be like, whoa, what the hell is this? Tsar cannons? What is that? And they make
No,
like
they're still called heavy
it's-
cannons. It just sends 2 heavy cannons. The card just has a different
Yeah,
name.
but if they look at your deck, they see like, oh man, this is a fast industrial deck. It has got Tsar cannons, and they they will like rush you.
This is how you confuse newer players. You put Tsar cannon in because clearly it costs more cards to get it. You have to have unlocked the entire line. So Edie's got a point.
Yeah, of course.
You wouldn't put
like,
both
man,
sets in?
They probably think like, oh man, this guy's gotta have a high home city level because
Well, they would have
it's-
seen it before they clicked in, surely.
well, of course you check enemies' decks, and if you
Uh-huh.
see he's got this unlocked, it means he's
Yeah.
a pretty experienced player with Russia.
So, so H2O, you wouldn't put both 2 heavy cannon shipments in your deck? To have 4 heavy cannons in total?
I think you've got room for that. You only need the trickle in H1, and you have 10 cards in H2 and 10 in H3, so that leaves you 4 cards in H4.
Yeah, I usually put only 2. I usually only just put the factories and not because I don't plan on going industrial in a situation where I'd want to send cannons. I usually plan to go there when I'd want to send factories. So I put
Or when
3
you
cards in
wanna troll
H1 for
something.
eco upgrades.
Oh,
yeah,
you can't have
Robbie's
everything.
got all sorts of shit in his industrial decks.
Go on, tell us, Blackster.
Because he can troll. I can't troll that way. That's just not my style.
Yeah, I think I saw you trying to throw soldier once and you failed.
Yeah, but after did you see the hub pop though? That was insane.
Yeah, but I think just you should have gone goons and then win the game.
Yeah, but 10. It doesn't matter. 10 hubs won me the game. How often can you say that?
All right, so
Anyway, sorry.
So 2 heavy cannons you wouldn't include because you want 10 colonial cards, 10 fortress age cards, and then eco theory, and as well as the wood upgrade. So you only have space for three Russian industrial age cards, 2 cannons, and then 2 factories because H2O wants to take Russia to a point where factories would be better than cannons to send. So okay, I see that. That is unfortunate, but the Falconets, you think 3 or 2 shipments of 2 would be too bad. Okay, so that ends the. That would be too good, sorry. So that ends the cannon discussion here. The next thing to talk about, I guess we can briefly go over the different lines of units. They get halberdiers. Unfortunately, these cards, like halberdier as a unit, is just bad, right?
I think you should talk about Cav HP and line of sight for
We'll
the
get
team.
there.
Yeah, the 10% card.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
That's like insane.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
I've got
I'm going to be right back
now.
for 1 second. Well, you guys keep talking about the cards.
Okay, let's quickly go through the sort of the different types of military units they get. Halberdiers, all the halberdier shipments are shitments, right? Because halberdiers are not very useful units.
Yeah,
Muslims
9.
are never being trained by Russia usually.
Yeah. It's just they're too slow moving, right? And
Yeah, just muskets are much better.
they just
even
get
if they're-
kited down. But even those musket shipments aren't very good. 11 musks is really not that interesting, right?
No, that's nothing.
Yeah, and 16 is also like you're not going to be able to ever put that in your deck of 16 musketeers because you won't. There are other shipments as we discussed that you're more likely to be in your deck. I would say like how many extra halbs would we have to make these and musks would we have to make these shipments? But I think there are more interesting things to
I
discuss.
think
Just
16 musk in H3 would be good.
yeah.
Yeah, because it's still like not really a lot of resources.
And the musks are just 150 HP. They are H2 muskets in H3, so
Yeah, they're because all Russian units are nerfed effectively compared to Euro civilizations. The Strelet line, 17 Strelets is not that interesting either, right?
No,
You're
maybe
never-
for Suvorov, but even then I don't think so.
Like H2O said, 16 Strelets in age 2 would be okay for him.
Yeah, so you need like 20 or even more.
Yeah, maybe. What if we just look at the
24.
24? Holy crap!
H3.
Yeah, all the shipments need to be like moved one below.
They
like,
just need to be better. They just need to be a lot better, is what we're saying. Like, but then 24 and 28 Strelets. Those cards are industrial age cards, which you're just never going to see. I
no,
presume.
why would you ever think like, oh, I'm gonna send 28 Strelets instead of 2 Tsar cannons? I mean,
Exactly.
Yeah.
when would you want to do that?
So how many
Tsar
Strelets does it need to be
Well-
better than Tsar cannons or factories?
Well, if you only have 1 Tsar cannon, maybe 28 Strelets is better, but you need like 35 Strelets or something.
You need 3.5 houses for this shipment.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's still shit because you need so many houses.
Oh my god! So it's definitely a shipment.
Yeah, and you
Well,
can surprise somebody with it, but if you're industrial, the other guy probably has fogs or is industrial himself, and one shot of a Tsar cannon kills like half your Strelet army.
Okay, so next is the Cossack line. Like 5 Cossacks. The 6 Cossack shipment in age 3 actually looks really bad compared to the 5 Cossack shipment in age 2. But it's not. It's actually good, right?
Well, I would say it's pretty bad compared to H2, but I still use it because you sometimes need Cav with Russia in H3.
Yeah, I mean it's
So it's
not a
the
bad
most-
shipment. It's costed fairly. It's 900, I believe. So like it's like any other Fortress Age shipment. It's just that Russia gets some insane Colonial Age ones. Next up is the Cav Archer line.
I think 9 Cossacks instead of 6 would be just OP for Russia in H3. It's like German having 9 Uhlans.
That would be strong. Certainly tighten up there, like being poor in the Fortress Age, like because you'd have more units there. Maybe that is something that would make Russia sort of better in that situation. Just having stronger Fortress Age shipments. That sounds really obvious, though.
Yeah, that's really obvious for them, of course.
Yeah, it's a shame that H2O isn't here because he can't hover over the cards.
Well, which one do you want to discuss? I know everything.
Yeah, it's just annoying for the viewer to not be able to see the card. Like they probably don't want to load up their game. But next is the Oprishnik line and the Grenadier line. I guess like you wouldn't send anything other than 6 Oprishniks, and even then it's not that good because Oprishniks.
6 is fun to
They
troll.
are actually good.
You think
Yeah.
6 is good?
Well, it's fun if you're like in a bad position and 6 opportunities got like 20 villagers, then they can save the game. But yeah,
Yeah, that's a card you might send when you're playing from behind, right? Because it's it's the raiding potential that could catch you back up. But I feel like as an actual shipment, like surely you'd want to send something else.
yeah, like 2 falconets. So
Exactly.
maybe after that you can send it. 6 Cossack is also fine, maybe.
Yeah.
But 6 Oprichniks is one of the best fortress cards for them, just because the fortress cards suck.
When can you fit in a Prieshnix is I guess what we're getting at there, and you've answered it. It's just
I would say somewhere in a bit later fortress.
Yeah.
When you have nothing better to send, like you send 2 cannons and
yeah.
you're stabilized somehow and you want to raid, so
Okay.
you just send them.
I just remember Boning getting to Fortress Age and sending 6 Oprichniks this one time, and then just killing tons of villagers and catching up. Like it was the most ridiculous thing. Like he shouldn't have won the game, but the 6 Oprichniks just managed to kill like 50 vills or something ridiculous.
The Russia Mirror, you mean, against Jurashik on Sagune?
I can't remember what it was, but it doesn't really matter too much. I'm not going to discuss the rest of the... It's basically to make these better, we'd just say you need more units, and the question is how many more. Then there's the Grenadier line, which is uninteresting as well. Who would send 5 Grens? What do you think of 5 Grens, Blackster?
I think it's a bad shipment overall.
Yeah.
It's
No good.
1,000 resources though, but...
Yeah, it's actually...
No, not really. Almost. It's like 900.
When do you ever need grants? That's the question.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, grants could be also a good unit for Russia. I don't know.
Yeah. What if they were...
Yeah, just because the rest of the units suck. But...
Yeah.
And the Grenadiers are also trained faster. I believe. Yes, their Grenadiers are also trained 10% faster, just like Musketeers and Halberdiers.
Oh, wow.
Because like every Russia infantry unit is trained 10% faster, I believe, except Strelets. So when you get all the infantry cards and upgrades, everything trains instantly, except Strelets. They train in like 2 seconds or something.
Like 3 seconds. Yeah.
So how many Grenadiers do you need to make 5 Grenadiers viable?
6 or 7, not that much, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I mean,
they're 7, 8.
They're okay against infantry. Like they don't have any negative multipliers against infantry, which they do against everything else. So they're like good at countering. I mean, I even saw Yumi make lots of Grenadiers as Russia.
Well, their resist is really cool. So you can use them in some situations with 50% range resist.
Okay, so let's talk about Strelic combat. It is a I'd say a card you definitely put in your deck as Russia, because Strelitz. Is it though? What do you think?
Yeah, it's one of the best, the second or third best card of Russia.
Yeah, because 20% is an absolutely huge number, where every other shipment is usually 15%.
Yes, exactly. That's just a really lot, and in team games it's even better. But in 1v1, 20% is just huge.
Yeah. So this is definitely a shipment.
it's for sure a shipment.
It's not a shipment. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what if you made it better?
Well,
5%.
Is that pushing Russia over the top, or does this just make Russia always train Strelets? Like the thing is that I'm getting at here is what can you change about Russia to make them not so bad in the Fortress Age? Like they always want to play that drawn-out, long colonial age game, and most civilizations will just say, no, we're going to Fortress Age, and then they have to follow them up. And, like, would 25% on Strelic combat be good enough? And like I mentioned, the extra cannons, would that make them good enough? You think maybe that's too good? Like, I don't really see why an upgrade to Strelic...
25% would be good, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe combined with, like, better Strelet shipments... in H2 entry, that could be really good.
Or just better military shipments generally.
Yeah, in general. But
yeah. I guess you can't just upgrade one Strelic combat upgrade. I don't know why you'd upgrade. Like, why would a Strelic upgrade help you? I don't know. Maybe it's already very good. So that is interesting. All right. Cavalry combat at 15% to all is normal. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just a normal.
But what if it was like the Strelic one? If it had 20%? Would that be, like, again, we're trying to strengthen Russia up in the Fortress Age here. What do you think, Blackster?
I think the Cossacks would just matter a lot. They would be much better.
Yeah,
And that would be very efficient for Russia because they cost 1 pop only.
that's true. Russian cavalry only
Cossacks
costing
are
1 pop.
actually very good, Kev.
Yeah, cheap, efficient. What they do, easy to like. I don't know. One problem with them is they cost the same amount of food as they do coin, which makes them strictly worse than hussars in the amount of resources that they cost. But still, I think H2O is back. Welcome back, H2O.
Hey, I'm back. Yeah.
We're talking about the cavalry combat. 15%. We're talking. Would it be better if it? Well, obviously, it would be better if it was 20%. I believe you have to go at some point. How long do you have?
Yeah, I have to go in like any minute now. So what I
Okay.
can do is I guess I'm not sure how we hand this off.
What we're going to do is take a quick break when H2O has to go, 5-minute break, and then we'll resume the podcast. But we're going to take the stream down and bring it back up again is how that will work. So we'll finish this card, and then do you want to do that?
All right.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right. So definitely a shipment cavalry combat. That's certainly one you include, yeah?
Yeah, I send that card a lot. I think Russia's all about just sending upgrade cards so their units don't suck as bad as they
Yeah.
normally do.
We were just yeah, because we were just saying, like, what if you made the Strelic combat 25%? It's already really good at 20% for attack and hit points. And I was saying, why not make cavalry combat the same as Strelic combat and make it 20%? Suddenly, Russia doesn't look so terrible in the Fortress Age.
Yeah, I mean, I already send like Strelic combat quite a bit in my games because
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know,
so
Strelic,
efficient.
like if you look at the stats on Strelic after you send both those cards, it's pretty crazy.
Well, that's, I believe, well, we've still got quite a lot more to talk about on the Fortress Age shipment. Do we have time for one more before we go to break?
Yeah, one more.
All right,
Let's
so
talk about the Kev HP. My website.
okay, I have every card written down with notes, but okay, I guess we can skip right to that one. It is the Team Cavalry Scouts, yeah?
Yeah, in military academy still.
Yeah, in Military Academy. This is, an Age 1 card that most people would look at and go, well, it's for scouting, if perhaps you're a noob. You just think, it's like having extra scouts. But actually, it's very relevant where it gives your cavalry 10% extra hit points as an Age 1 upgrade, which is kind of weird, but it does do that as well as line of sight. What do you guys think of it?
It actually does a huge difference in a team game as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
It is a team card, yeah, good point. Do you want to talk about that,
See,
Blackstone?
I thought it would be bad, but I guess in team maybe it's not.
Yeah, sure, I can say that it boosts the Gendarmes HP by 10%.
Holy
So
crap, yeah, you've got
Imperial
French
Gendarmes
ally.
with that card just wins everything.
Wow, French would be, yeah, that's really good in team, I can
Hussar
see
have
that.
400 HP.
Just yeah. Is Russia a good ally in team, or would you rather have, like, British or some other civ?
I think Russia is better in team than in 1v1.
Yeah.
Mostly because of their map control and these team cards. They have also the team berries and hunting animals, but we're going to talk about that later.
Yeah, we definitely will. So they've got some good team cards. Is Russia, well, obviously much better. Is it much better to the point that it is, like, on par with, say, France in a 1v1? Like, sort of level of goodness?
You mean in 1v1?
Like, if you compare Russia's strength in team game to France's strength in a 1v1.
I would
guess
say
so.
really, I don't know.
That was really
I think they're like average in team. And it's also really good that they can focus on like one unit, either Cossack or Musk or Strelets. And if they like focus on Strelets, they can put all their upgrade cards and their whole economy on Strelets, and that's really good for them.
All right. Well, that I guess so. This is a Black Star. You think it's a shipment, yeah?
Yep, shipment.
And H2O, are you going to make a case for why this is bad?
Yeah, I think I think in 1v1 it's a shipment because 10% HP only on is it on light infantry? Does that say? That's
No, only for Coyote.
Coyote runner style
right?
units.
Yeah, those are the weird Coyote
Like, you
ones.
can get rabbit
Yeah,
shields
not
and stuff.
skirmishers or something.
Yeah.
Or
Okay, good.
Strelets.
That does. Yeah, I had like a slow moment. I would say it's a shipment just because it's only 10%. The line of sight doesn't really play a role, so it's just 10%. And you're going to be sending Boyers before you send it, right? Because it's just like not as good as Boyers.
Yeah.
So like in 1v1, it's hard to find a time to send it, which is why I would say it's a shipment. But it's a good upgrade card, and I could see how it'd be amazing in team as well. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll say it's a shipment. Actually, I won't say it's shipment.
Shipment, but that's only in team. In 1v1, you're not a fan.
Yeah, I mean, it's in my deck because it also takes up only an H1 slot, so that's another reason why it's quite good, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, fair enough. And you're more interested in the earlier game than you are in, say, taking it out and putting in 2 heavy cannons.
Exactly. I mean, it definitely makes the cut before 2 heavy cannons. It's in all my decks, so it has to be a shipment. I mean, it's top 25 cards they have then, right? So
Yeah, so it's a shipment. It's not a shipment.
yeah.
All right, fine. That's well. That concludes us for now. H2O does have to go. I'll see if I can find someone to replace him. If there's anyone in the chat who
We
a
can also
soldier, do you want to join us?
he could join in like 45 minutes from now, I thought.
Garja
So
can
not
also
yet.
join too, possibly.
Who?
Who?
Yeah,
Garja?
Garja.
He's in the
Yeah,
chat.
Guy.
But ask
Yeah.
him
You
if
should
he's
definitely
free.
join.
All right, I need to run,
Otherwise-
guys. Sorry, I've already pushed it a bit too far, so I'm gonna
Yeah,
take
All
down
right,
the
sure.
stream.
Okay.
Okay, so guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
See you.
Yep. Thank you for watching. We'll be